Hello everyone, I am your educator Anjali. You are watching me on Arpita Sharma classes. Today is the topic about important lakes in India. But before I start, I have a very important announcement to make because Unacademy is launching full length mains mock paper, that is UFMMP, which is a series of full length mock papers for UPSC Civil Services mains examination. We have given you the PDF of the mock paper of ethics in the description box. Please go and download it and solve it yourself. And on 25th of October 2020, Rajesh Verma sir, who is a retired IAS officer, will solve them in the free live special class on Unacademy Plus at 9 pm. In this round, Rakesh Verma sir, who is a retired IAS, and Mrunal Patel sir will discuss the solutions of the theory questions and the case studies that are asked in the GS paper 4, that is ethics mock paper 1. It will be discussed in detail. The link of the same and the mock paper is given in the description box. Please hurry up and enroll for the free class today. Here is the information about the GS4 ethics 1 that's going to happen. Please make full use of the same. Today let us start with the major lakes. That is the session for today, and this becomes a very important topic for prelims point of view. So I have tried to cover the all the aspects of the lakes that will be asked, their regions and their characteristics as well. If you have any doubts, please drop them back in the comment box. I will answer them. So what is a lake? A lake is an area of variable size which is filled with water. It is localized in basin. You can usually say there is no outlet. If there is an outlet, you will call it a river. Okay. If there is no outlet and the water is just standing there, you call it a lake. A smaller one is called a pond and a bigger one is called a lake. Okay. Here, apart from any river or any other outlet that serves to feed or drain the lake, it is usually surrounded by land, as you can see. So there are two types of lakes, if I can tell you. There is a natural lake and there is artificial lake. The questions have appeared in UPSC prelims about the questions on artificial lakes also. So it's important to remember which are the lakes that are artificial as well. So just because questions are repeated from this topic is a very important topic for prelims examination. So let us see what are natural lakes. Natural lakes are generally found, where are they found? In the mountainous areas, in the rift zones, in areas with ongoing glaciation. What is glaciation? It is the melting of ice. The natural lakes are formed through a number of processes. How are natural lakes formed? Because of the tectonic movement, that is because of the plate movements in the earth. There will be depressions that will be created to form the lakes. Now you see there will be mountain ranges like this. Okay, you would have usually drawn these diagrams like this, right? And then when there is tectonic movement, there will be a depression that will be created when there is a depression created here in these points. So what happens when these start moving aside? There will be a bowl shaped formation that will be formed, and here water gets filled up, and this you can call it as a lake. Okay, this is because of the tectonic moments. The plates will start moving, and because of this there will be formation of a bowl like structure. There will be accumulation of water, and this is a lake, and this is a natural process because the man is not moving the tectonic plates. Tectonic plates are moving because of some geographical phenomena. And landslides or glacial blockages, they will also lead to the formation of lakes. The landslides, okay, and the glacial blockages, that is these icebergs. The icebergs, they will come and block the way where the river is flowing, and they will localize that lake to that region. So because of this also lakes will be formed. Salt lakes form where there is no natural outlet. Here the water table has a higher than normal salt content. Usually the salt content in the lake, it will be very higher where there will be no natural outlet. Okay, just remember, where there is no natural outlet, the salt content in that water will be usually very high. And there is oxbow lakes are formed by a meandering river that flows across a flood plain and gets cut off. Now many must be knowing what is an oxbow lake. If you don't know, I'll tell you what it is. Now you see, this is a course of river that is flowing. Okay, and here this is known as meandering. Okay, these positions are known as meandering. If there is a lot of meandering that is taking place, see, if there is deep curves that is taking place, usually this part or this part will get cut off from the main course of the river. See, maybe like this. Okay, it's flowing, and this might get cut off here. Okay, this will start forming one part of a lake here, and this usual course of river might become thin here, but it will keep flowing, and this part that is cut off from this original course of the river, this will form a lake here. This lake is known as the Oxbow Lake. The spits and the bars from the lagoons in the coastal areas. And now you can see what is a lagoon. A lagoon is something that is having very shallow water. Okay, lagoons are usually formed near the bigger water bodies. That is, if there is an ocean or a sea here, usually to some part here there will be lagoons. Okay, this is usually blocked by an island that is known as the barrier island. I'll show you in this diagrammatic way. So this is known as a lagoon. See, here usually the depth will be very less and it will be very shallow. Please remember, it is very shallow here, and this barrier island that is there, that is blocking the this water from here, and this becomes localized here, so it is forming a lagoon. This is known as a lagoon. Okay, what are the characteristics? It is blocked by a barrier island, and then it is also shallow. Is it a part of a bigger one? Is it part of this bigger water body? Yes, it is a part. Okay, and here you can also get spits and bars are related to which of spits and bars are related to what. Okay, just that you can get a question in the options. You might get options like lagoons, mountains, glaciers. You can get options like this. Please remember, it is related to lagoons. And then what are artificial lake? Anything that is artificial, when I say, it means it is man-made. Okay, there are man-made lakes. Why the man will create lakes? Because he can store water for the generation of electricity. He can store water for some purpose, maybe for recreational activities also. Okay, it can also be used for agriculture as well. So there are many reasons why waters will be stored, and it can also be for doing fishing as well. Okay, fishes will be introduced in the artificial lakes, and there will be commercial fishing that will be done. So there are lot of reasons why artificial lakes will be made. They are constructed for industrial, for agricultural, for hydroelectric power generation or domestic water supply, or for aesthetic or recreational purposes also. I have covered all this when I told you. Okay, then there is Guru Gobind Sagar is an example of an artificial lake. If you hear Guru Gobind Sagar in a statement type of question, Guru Gobind Sagar is a natural lake. No, that statement is false, because Guru Gobind Sagar is a artificial lake. It supports the Bakra Nangal Hydel project. So this is also important. If there is any hydel project that is there, or if the lake is near to some national park or wildlife sanctuary also, that lake will become important. Or if it is near some river that is flowing also, that will also become important. Now in case of, take an Oxbow Lake, if this Oxbow Lake is formed here, what is this river? If there is a river nearby, what is this river? This becomes important. You should know the name of this river as well. Okay, then there is Kodaikanal Lake in Tamil Nadu. It is also another artificial or a man-made lake. Now let us see in detail what are these lakes and where are they present. So not what are these lakes, how many lakes and where are they present. And Kolleru Lake is in Andhra Pradesh. It is the largest freshwater lake in India. It is located between Krishna and Godavari Delta. So this becomes important, because in 2020 prelims also you had one question about the national sanctuaries, national parks that were lying in the what you call the Kaveri Basin. Okay, this was the question that was asked in 2020. So you should know things like this. Whatever is lying in that basin will become important, river basins. So Kolleru Lake is there only in Krishna Basin? No, it is there in Krishna as well as in the Godavari Basin in the delta. Atapaka Bird Sanctuary is located in the Kolleru Lake. Since it is the largest freshwater lake, you can imagine it will be a very good site for seeing the birds as well. So there is a bird sanctuary that is present, that is Atapaka Bird Sanctuary. Next is the Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. Usually Sambar Lake is in news a lot of times, and it is the largest inland salt lake in India. India's largest inland salt lake. What was Kolleru Lake? It is the largest freshwater lake in India, and this is the largest inland saltwater lake. Okay, it is a bowl-shaped lake, encircles historical Sambar Lake town, 96 kilometers southwest of city of Jaipur, along the northeast of Ajmer, along the National Highway 8 of Rajasthan. Nothing in this paragraph usually becomes important. Important is what shape is it? Bowl shape, and it is 8 kilometers from National Highway 8. So this also is important. Then Mahabharata mentions the Sambar Lake. So this is having a historical backing, or it is written in one of the epic. Okay, so this also becomes important. Which lake finds its mention in the epics of India? Okay, Mahabharata is a epic. So this Sambar Lake is finding a mention there. Because of the kingdom of the demon king Brishparva. And there is Pushkar Lake in Rajasthan. It is located in the town of Pushkar in Ajmer district of Rajasthan. Pushkar Lake is a sacred lake of the Hindus. You can see usually there are more lakes in Rajasthan, because Rajasthan is a dry area, and you need lakes to store water so that they can be used by the people for many activities. Please remember there are more lakes in Rajasthan. I'll tell you which state has the highest lakes, which state, all the facts I'll tell you at the end. Okay, I'm not telling you the highest is in Rajasthan, but remember there are many lakes in Rajasthan. And then Wular Lake. Wular Lake is in Jammu and Kashmir. It is the largest freshwater lake in India. Wular Lake can spread over nearly 200 square kilometers, but its actual surface extends to vary during the year. The Jhelum River, see this becomes important again. Which river flows into the lake? Jhelum River is flowing into the lake 40 kilometers downstream from Srinagar and then out again. There was another question again in 2020 about the Caspian Sea, which are the there were different seas that were given, okay, which flows into the Caspian Sea. The options were also given. So you have to know what is flowing in, because these are all very important rivers when it comes to Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra, because these are all the tributaries, like Jhelum, Satluj are all tributaries of Indus. So they also become important. So Jhelum rivers flows into the Wular Lake. The lake basin was formed as a result of the tectonic activity, and it is fed by the Jhelum River. All this can be formed into a statement type of question. Maybe I'll give you an example. Statement 1. The lake is formed as a result of tectonic activity. Statement 2. The Jhelum River flows into the lake. The option 3. And the surface area extends, actual surface area extends during the year, or 200 square kilometers. If this is given, identify which lake is described. If it is given and 4 options are given, it is Wular Lake. Pulicat Lake. Pulicat Lake is in Andhra Pradesh. It is the second largest brackish water lake. Brackish water is nothing but there is salt content in the water. Brackish water has salt content, but it does not have salt content as much as the saltwater lake. Okay, this is very salty. Okay, increased saltiness, and there is freshwater lake here. If the salt content is lying between these two levels, then it is known as the brackish water lake. The largest spindle barrier island named Sriharikota will separate the lake from the Bay of Bengal. This is important again. The large spindle shaped barrier island named Sriharikota will separate the lake from the Bay of Bengal. Sriharikota you should be knowing, because it is important from the science and tech point of view. The island is home to Satish Dhawan Space Center, the launch site of India's successful first lunar space mission Chandrayaan-1. Okay, this again current affairs. So Pulicat Lake will become important. Then is the Loktak Lake in Manipur, largest freshwater lake. It is the largest freshwater lake where? In northeast India. Kebul Lamjau National Park. It is only floating national park. So again this becomes important. Actually all the lakes are important, but you should know, just because all are important, they are not important for the same aspect. Every lake is important for different aspects. Some lake may be important because it has a floating national park. Some are important because it has a Satish Dhawan space. It is separated by some island that is having special Satish Dhawan space center. And some other lake is important because it might be an artificial lake. Okay, and a few other lakes also appeared in news because they turned pink. Okay, where is that lake? That is the Lonar lake. Okay, where is that present? It is in Maharashtra. So lakes like this will become very important, and lakes in itself are having different characteristics, so they are unique to each other. That's why you have to remember them. Then there is Sastaman Kota Lake, Kerala. It is the largest freshwater lake in Kerala. The purity of the lake water for drinking use is attributed to the presence of large population of larvae called as the Cava boris that consumes the bacteria that is in the lake water. See again, because of the presence of, there is larvae called as Cava boris. So when you make notes, just write Satam Kota Lake, Kerala, largest freshwater lake in K. Just write K, you will remember it is Kerala, and there is just write presence of larvae Cava boris. Okay, that is it, just one line. Okay, Vembanad Lake is again in Kerala. Vembanad Kayal or Vembanad Kol, it is the longest lake in India. Longest lake, okay, not the largest, but it is the largest lake in Kerala. It is known as Punnamada Lake in Kuttanad and Kochi Lake in Kochi. Okay, it is having two different names. The Nehru Trophy boat race is conducted in this portion of the lake. Again important because there is a sports event that is happening here. So it is the Nehru Trophy boat race that is happening in Vembanad Lake. This was also in news. Chilika Lake of Odisha, it is always in news. Okay, the Chilika Lake is a brackish water lagoon spread over Puri, Khurda, Ganjam districts of Odisha state on the east coast of India at the mouth of Daya river. See, whenever this lake is mostly in the news, many times in the news, everybody will know it is in Odisha. So in-depth study of that, little in-depth study of that lake will be required. So you should know Daya river. Okay, it is flowing into Bay of Bengal, covering 1000 square kilometers. It is the largest coastal lagoon in India, and the second largest lagoon in the world. Chilika Lake is the largest wintering ground for migratory birds on the Indian subcontinent. Dal Lake, it is there in Jammu and Kashmir. Which was the lake that we studied before that was there in Jammu and Kashmir? Vullar Lake. Okay, Dal Lake is the lake in Srinagar. It is an integral tourism for known as the jewel in the crown of Kashmir or Srinagar's jewel. So it is having another name, please remember. Asia's largest tulip garden is on the banks of Dal Lake. You would have seen it is a very famous photography site also. Okay, this is the largest tulip garden is present on the banks of Dal Lake. Mughal Gardens, Shalimar Bagh and Nishat Bagh are on the banks of Dal Lake. There are gardens, okay, these are Mughal gardens. Please remember they are Mughal gardens. Which kingdom does it belong to? Then Nal Sarovar Lake, Gujarat. The Nal Sarovar Lake in Gujarat is probably the largest bird sanctuary in the country. The Nal Sarovar is mainly inhabited by the migratory birds in winter and spring. It is the largest wetland bird sanctuary in Gujarat and one of the largest in India. Okay, it is the wetland bird sanctuary. It is declared as bird sanctuary in 1969. Samgo Lake, Sikkim. Sangmo Lake or Changu Lake is a glacial lake. Again important. Glacial lake in the East Sikkim. The lake is the venue for Guru Purnima festival in which Jhakris of Sikkim assemble at the lake area to derive benefits from the healing qualities of the lake waters. Bhimtal Lake, Uttarakhand. Bhimtal Lake is a lake in the town of Bhimtal in the Indian state of Uttarakhand with a masonry dam built in 1883. Remember, there is a masonry dam here creating the storage facility. It is the largest lake in the Kumaon region known as the Lake District of India. Kumaon region is called as what? Lake District of India. It is a C-shaped lake. We have seen before also. There is a bowl-shaped lake in Rajasthan. So this is a C-shaped lake. Barapani Lake in Meghalaya. The lakes, whatever the features are present in northeastern India, are having double the importance. Okay, just remember them. More importantly, they are present in northeastern India. Okay, Barapani or Umiam Lake is in Shillong. The origin of the lake is in 1965 is due to the Umiam Umtru hydropower project, the first hydel power project in the northeastern region of India. This is also important. You got two facts in this slide itself. Then is Nainital Lake, Uttarakhand. Nainital Lake is a natural freshwater body. It is situated amidst the township of Nainital in Uttarakhand. It is a kidney shaped or a crescent shaped, okay, it is like a moon, okay, moon shaped lake. Periyar Lake is in Kerala again. Periyar Lake is formed by the construction of a dam across the Mulla Periyar river in 1865. River is important. The notable elephant reserve and a tiger reserve, Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary, is located on the banks of Periyar Lake, biodiversifically important. Hussain Sagar Lake is in Telangana. The lake is in Hyderabad, built by Hazrat Hussain Shah Wali during the rule of Ibrahim Kuli Qutub Shah. Connects the twin cities. This is in the medieval period. This was built in 1562. Connects the twin cities of Hyderabad and Secunderabad. Which are the twin cities? You should remember. The major attraction at the Hussain Sagar is the 16-meter high to 350-ton monolithic Buddha statue on the Rock of Gibraltar installed at the center of the lake. You would have seen that lake in the movies, maybe if you watch the Telugu movies, or just Google it and see the picture. It is a very scenic view. Okay, and there is Salim Ali Lake in Maharashtra. It is been named after the great ornithologist. What is an ornithologist? A person who studies the birds. Naturalist Salim Ali, and also he is known as the bird man of India. You got another fact from this slide again. Salim Ali Sarovar Lake, popularly known as the Salim Ali Talab, is located near the Delhi Gate opposite to Himayat Bagh in Aurangabad. Then is Kanwar Lake in Bihar. Kanwar Lake by a bird sanctuary is present here, comprising bird water ponds, marshes, forest, is a home of different species. Kanwar Tal or Kabartal Lake is Asia's largest freshwater oxbow lake. Okay, remember the keywords. Nakki Lake in Rajasthan. It is very ancient sacred lake. According to Hindu legend, it is called by its name because it is dug out from Niles. Nak means nails. Okay. Nakki Lake is situated on the Indian hill station of Mount Abu in the Aravalli ranges. Again, you got another fact here. That is, where is Mount Abu present? It is in Aravalli ranges. The Mahatma Gandhi's ashes were immersed in this holy lake on 1948 and Gandhi Ghat was constructed. It is related to Mahatma Gandhi. Definitely it is very important. Bhojtal Lake, Madhya Pradesh. It is known as the Upper Lake, lies in the western side of the capital city Madhya Pradesh in Bhopal. It is major source of drinking water for the residents of the city, serving around 40% of the residents with nearly 30 million imperial gallons of water per day. Bada Talab along with the nearby Chota Talab, meaning the small lake in Hindi, constitute the Bhoj wetland. Bhoj wetland, okay, this is a protected area. It is a Ramsar site. So this is important. Bhojtal Lake, there is Bhoj wetland. It is the largest artificial lake in Asia, not in the world. Please remember, it is only Asia. Then there are few other lakes, not very much prominent, but their location is important. Surajkund is in Haryana. Alsur Lake you would have seen in news many times. It is in Bangalore, Karnataka. Sambar Lake, Rajasthan we have seen. Pichola Lake, Udaipur in Rajasthan. Pangong Lake is in Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir. Now few facts about the lakes. What is the deepest lake in the world? It is the Baikal. It is freshwater in Russia. Largest freshwater lake is the Lake Superior between Canada and USA. Largest lake in the world is the Caspian Sea, bounded by Iraq, Russia, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan. Please remember this as Tarik. R-I-Q-O-R-I-K. Okay, Tarik. Saltiest lake. Saltiest lake is the world's Dead Sea, bounded by Israel, Jordan and West Bank. This is in the Middle East region, so this is also important. And then lowest lake is the world's Dead Sea, again between Israel, Jordan and the West Bank. Largest lake in India is the Sambar Lake. Largest freshwater lake is the Kolleru Lake. Largest coastal lagoon is the Chilika Lake. Sriharikota Island is located in the Pulicat Lake in Andhra Pradesh. country known as the land of thousand lakes, Finland. Lakes, whether they are natural or artificial, they are of very great importance to human beings. So I have listed out few importance or the uses of the lakes to human beings. They help to regulate the flow of water. It prevents the flooding and will promote agriculture. During the dry season, it will help in maintaining the flow of water and also provide water for domestic purposes. Lake is also used for developing hydroelectric power. They will influence the climate in the surrounding area. They will have aquatic ecosystem. They will enhance the natural beauty and also develop tourism and provide recreation. So I think this lecture was helpful to you. Please comment in the comment box. I'll ask you a question. Bhopal was there in news for some other reason as well. There was something that was set up in Bhopal. Please comment in the comment box and tell me. To get the PDF of this lecture, visit our Telegram channel, Simplifying UPSC with Ease. Also, to find such useful lectures, do subscribe to Arpita Sharma classes and please press the bell icon so you don't miss an update from us. Thank you.